We return now to our top story. The Education Department is defending its decision to include a controversial question in a matric exam. Pupils were asked how they would direct a scene depicting the rape of a baby. I'm joined on the line from Pretoria now by Basic Education Department spokesperson Elijah Mhlanga. Good morning, Elijah. Thank you for joining us on Morning News today. Firstly, how can the department be defending this question? What is your feeling about it?
I'm not sure if you have seen the question, because if you have seen the question, then we would speak from the same level of understanding. But the question, in fact, is the aspects tested in the question are as per the national curriculum statements for dramatic arts, which challenge learners to think creatively and critically about real issues that are happening in our society, but putting them in a dramatic way using the skills that have been taught in the classrooms.
Well, I am looking at that little section from the paper, and I'll read it to you. It says the stage directions in line 9 say, he acts out the rape using the broomstick and the loaf of bread. Why did the playwright choose to use the symbols of a loaf of bread to represent the baby and the broomstick as the rapist? And then the second question is, describe how you would get the actor portraying Simon to perform line 9 to maximize the horror of the rape for the audience. Now, Elijah, you're asking 17, 18-year-olds to do this. I still don't understand how, and I understand that, you would want them to sort of investigate their creativity and to show you how creative they could be. But to use the rape of a 9-month-old baby and to ask them how they would maximize the horror for rape for the purposes of an audience, as a parent I'm speaking as well, and not just as a journalist, I would be horrified.
The concern is noted. Maybe we should just go back to the beginning. This extract is based on a story that was well reported in South Africa a few years back, the rape of a child somewhere, I think in the Northern Cape, and an artist decided to write a play about that story, and that play went on to win national and international awards. And in that play, Lara Foot, the playwright, Lara Foot Newton, the playwright, she used a broomstick and bread as symbols to describe.
Elijah, I understand, because that is all quite obvious. We know that as fact.
I think we need the context as well, because if you just ask your question out of context, it won't make sense. So I'm saying that it's important that that context is put there and it is well understood, because the question, as asked in the question paper, did not just drop out of nowhere, but it was part of an extract from that play. So the question wants the learner to use their own creative way, as the artist has done.
But why? That could be done with any excerpt from any play. Why would you choose something like this? Something that would horrify most adults?
Because, okay, number one, we believe that at that age, the learners have already been exposed to such issues, and the question challenges them to deal with the realities that South Africa finds itself in. But apart from that, at matric level, they will be going to a world where they will have to deal with some of the challenges that the real world has to bring to them. And therefore, we feel that it was necessary that such a question be in the examinations, because it is happening anyway in the country, and that debate needs to happen about all these issues that we are confronting.
Yes, surely, Elijah, and I'm sure everyone would agree with you, and we have people who are part of the 16 Days campaign who would agree that our children need to be educated, they need to be made aware, but to ask them to direct a scene using a loaf of bread and a broomstick that would be, in reality, was the rape of a 9-month-old baby, I am not sure that many people would say that that is how children need to be educated and made aware of the reality of this world. So I'm not sure how you would still justify that, but I'd like for you to answer how you're going to actually address this with parents and teachers from the department as well, and the pupils who seem to have been traumatized by this.
Well, as I said earlier, that the concerns have been noted, and it's also important to note at this point that all the matric question papers are approved by UMALUs, who are the externally qualified assurance council that use experts in the country who moderate these question papers. So this question has gone through all the checks and balances that the education system has. So it's not just the department just decided on its own to use this question without putting it through the means test that all question papers have to go through. So that process has been done, but it's important to say that the department will mark a sample of the scripts of learners from all 9 provinces, as it does with all question papers after they are written, to establish if any possible disadvantages to the candidates was there or was experienced.
So
and if there's evidence that candidates have been affected by this question, the question will be excluded from the question paper and the marking guidelines will be adjusted accordingly.
All right, so Elijah, but in terms of sort of addressing this with the parents and the pupils, nothing is going to be done into their immediate concern now, and maybe the trauma that they've suffered, nothing at the moment until you see the answers.
As I've indicated to you, the action that has been that will be taken, will be following that, and based on that, then we'll decide on the next course of action.
All right, thank you very much for joining us. Basic Education
News that moves. eNCA.com.